Brock Purdy, I think, has proved everyone wrong. Except for me, because I said when I first seen this man play that he was going to be magical, and he has. He has. So let's get into this one. 49ers motivated to get Brock Purdy's extension done quickly.
Brock talked the other day about wanting to get an extension done as soon as possible. All right, do you have that same optimism that it can get done by mid-April when spring workouts start?
Well, listen, I think what we know about Brock is that he's our guy. We've got, we have interest in Brock being around here for a long, long time. He's done so much for our organization. He's won big games, had a little tougher task as we all did this year with some of the things that happened throughout the course of the year. We just never could string games where we were all together. And through that, he continued to lead. He continued to play at a high level. So we have every interest in him being around. The way this thing goes, these press conferences are necessary, but always kind of silly because Kyle's coaching. We spend time together all the time, and there's big issues that affect the team. But he's just getting off coaching. He's had his door shut for 2 days, doing exit interviews. We were just up, but we were talking about our players. We'll have some time here in the coming weeks to sit together and put our whole plan together. That's obviously a priority, that position, and we'll give it that attention.
So there you go. You heard it from the team themselves, and Brock Purdy's the guy. Right, he's going to be the guy moving forward. They trust Brock Purdy. They believe in Brock Purdy. And from what we've seen over the man, he steps out on that field with the confidence, the cadence, the professionalism, great IQ. I would like to see more of the long ball out of Brock Purdy. But for what he's been able to do, I think it's been absolutely great. And he's still developing to be better, right? There's still room for growth. And as we go on, I think not only Brock Purdy deserves the money, but I think at this point he deserves a recognition because nobody expected him to do what he's done for this 49ers franchise, and he's been nothing short of exceptional. Even in the losses, you don't put the blame totally on Purdy because he went out there and did his job. So I'm glad that the 49ers have decided to make him the man for the job, and they're going to pay him what he's worth. So let's get into this one. It says with the season over, the San Francisco 49ers and quarterback Brock Purdy are, for the first time in his young career, eligible to discuss a lucrative long-term contract extension. And while those talks haven't begun just yet, Niners general manager John Lynch, coach Kyle Shanahan, and Purdy have made it clear that they intend to reach an agreement with the hope that it will be done sooner than later. I think we know about Brock and that he is our guy. Lynch said Wednesday, we have our interest in Brock being around here for a long time. Long time. He has 1 year left on the pact and is slated to count 1.1 million against the cap in 2025. That number is all but certain to rise this offseason as the Niners are prepared to pay him in line with some of the top paid passers in the league, though it remains to be seen just how high they're willing to go. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott is the current highest paid quarterback in terms of average annual value at $60 million per season. Yeah, Dak Prescott's getting $60 million per season. Monday, Purdy said he's not really sure whether topping the number is of importance to him, but he did make it clear that he wants to get something done as fast as possible so he can be in the fold when the Niners begin organizing the team activities in April. If you're going to pay Dak $60 million, what do you pay Brock Purdy? Shout out to you, Mark. I was right there. I was thinking between 25, 40 max, right? Depending on what kind of agent situation Purdy has, and depending on what the 49ers are willing to spend, I'm thinking between 25, 40. I don't think they're going to pay him Dak money. Now, it's sad to say that, right? Because if anybody should get $60 million, maybe it should be Purdy. Because if Dak's able to get $60 million, why can't Purdy? Right? If I'm Brock Purdy and I'm looking at what Dak just got, and I look at, well, this is what I did in the NFC, and this is what he did, and he got $60 million and I can't. We got to have a real discussion about this, right? Because I'm saying, 25 to 40 on value, right, of what I think of what the market should be for a quarterback like Brock Purdy. But then I got to turn around and go through the numbers and see what Dak Prescott got paid. And it's like, well, I did a hell of a better job than Dak Prescott. You got to pay me, or I'll take these talents somewhere else who's willing to pay me that kind of money. So I think it puts the 49ers in this weird situation, but also I think Purdy is looking at it like this. I like where I'm at. Just make the number look good, and everyone will be happy. Shout out to you, Tactical. So, Jay, the look you gave the camera when you said $60 million for Dak. I mean, listen. It's the reality of it. Philip says, what's Baker get? Purdy gets Baker, though. No. He gets more than that. Baker's on a 2-year. Jonas says, plus Dak is getting paid off those commercial. Purdy might get $45 million in guaranteed money for 5 years. I like it. Because, like I said, you can't give Dak Prescott $60 million and expect to give Purdy 20 or 30. It's almost a slap in the face. Dak Prescott don't have no Super Bowls. He don't got no NFC championships. So what do you pay Brock Purdy if Dak Prescott's getting $60 million? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a breaking news that, Brock Purdy is now, above Dak Prescott. But it's hard to say that just because we know the 49ers are trying to, make sure they got enough in the for the cap space and to, work on that defense a little more too. Obviously, they got to figure it out. We'll see how that goes. But shout out to Brock Purdy. All money aside, shout out to Brock Purdy. I do think that the 49ers will pay him what he's worth, but you do have to look at the quarterback market, and that's how people get paid, right? You get paid off of the market these days. You can't go back and tell someone that they're worth less than what this individual is when they got paid all that money and they didn't do jack shit.